Hello everyone, I am Ashley Evans and my blog is Dash of Evans. I share a lot of food recipes and family fun and everything on a budget. So I hope that I can teach you a little bit about bulk shopping 101 today, and I hope that my dogs are quiet. They were just like barking like crazy, so hopefully they'll stay quiet for you guys. I have a few things to share with you today. First of all, my blog is Dash of Evans, so it's just www.dashofevans.com. And I'm also on Snapchat as Cheap Ash, and then everywhere else is just Dash of Evans. So if you like what you hear today, go find me and we can connect that way. So let's see. First things first. When you think of bulk shopping, a lot of people just think of Costco or just warehouse stores where everything is in huge quantities, but it doesn't always have to be that way. You can also do bulk shopping in quantities that you actually will use. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, and then also just some tips for shopping at Costco or any warehouse store that you have, and also other places that you might be able to find things. So first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about how you even just start bulk shopping. I've been using coupons for quite some time. I would say maybe I was like in 5th grade when I started using coupons, and my mom didn't even use coupons. It was just something that I just started doing on my own. I was like a weird kid like that. So I've been always a huge bargain shopper, and also I like to try to find the best deal as possible. So what I always like to do is I like to set a price point. So that's the most important thing that you can do, is before you even start stocking up your pantry or anything, you want to set a price point. And so what that means is basically you're going to want to say, okay, this is a can of tomatoes. I know that I can get this at Aldi for 49 cents or something like that. And then that will be your price point, because you know that's probably the lowest it's going to get. So if you see a sale or anything like that, then you can know that this is a good deal to stock up on. And so I actually do always pretty much compare prices, Costco versus Aldi. So I always go to Costco first because it's right next door to each other. They're right next door to each other. So I always go to Costco first and I look at the prices and I figure, hey, if this flour is not the right price, then I'm going to get it at Aldi. And that's kind of the way, because I don't really have a ton of time to use coupons anymore. So it's kind of nice that I don't even think about that. You just kind of know if you have that price in your head. So besides tomatoes, you can do prices for eggs, dairy, yogurt, anything like that. Also meat. Try to set a price that you are willing to pay, and don't pay more than that. That's the biggest thing ever, is if you want to save money, you have to kind of have that price point in your head. I'm sorry, I keep saying that word. And so if you want to write it down, you can. A lot of people keep a spreadsheet and everything like that. Otherwise, you can always just kind of keep a mental note, in which that's what I kind of do. And so I'm going to show you a few things that I like to buy in bulk. So let's see. First of all, I buy oatmeal. Oh, and this is not from Costco either. There are bulk bins in some of our grocery stores too. So it's just, the bin with the scoop, and you weigh it by pound. That is a great way to save money. So I know the big things of oatmeal. Sorry, my dog. Rambo. Of course, the minute I start talking, he starts barking. So I know at Aldi you can get the oatmeal at a pretty good price, but at this place that I shop at, Fresh Thyme, I know that it's only 49 cents a pound this week. So I get a big container, just like one of those plastic bags. I fill it up, and then I store it like this in my pantry. And so then I know that this will be enough for me to cover for about 2 months. Sorry, Rambo. He's like a big dog and he has a big bark. So I know we didn't name Rambo. He was a shelter dog, and that's what they named him, so we kept it. But the girls call him Rainbow. Sorry. Yes, price points. Yeah, definitely. So I just read that price points are hard to adjust with inflation. So yeah, every few years you do have to kind of say, okay, well, what is the cheapest that I can get this? Because it might not be the same as 5 years ago. So like, say with this oatmeal, I used to always just get it at Aldi, but now I know I can get it for 49 cents a pound. So I just buy it like this. And also with all the the extreme couponing shows and everything, I feel like it got in everybody's mind that you need to buy a ton of everything. And the biggest I want to stock up for is 2 months. That's the longest time period that I want. So you never want to stock up more than you can ever use. It doesn't make any sense. Do you really need all of these like candy bars? They always would stock up on random things on those shows. So just try to keep just a shorter mindset and when you're shopping, just 1 to 2 months at most. And you don't want anything to spoil either. So that's a good way to save money that way. So this oatmeal I know will last for our mornings, and if I do like an oatmeal bake or muffins, this will last us for about 2 months. And so I think all of this was $2, and it's a pretty big container. So you want to make sure it has a good seal on it though. And I also get things like popcorn. So in the bulk bins, I just get enough popcorn for a month or 2, and then I just store it in our pantry in one of these little containers. And actually, I started with these plastic ones, but I've switched to something else, which I'll show you in just a second. So my new favorite thing to store anything in is mason jars. First of all, I think you get 12 of them for $9.99, and they're big, so I get the big ones and the littler size ones. So that you can see the size difference. There's also another one that I have. And then they come with the metal lids. I just get these at Walmart. They're just reusable lids. And then you can reheat things in them. I don't like to put them in the microwave too much, but they really keep it tight, and you can store it in the freezer, in the fridge, anywhere like this. And so then, I'm trying to see if there's any questions. So this is what I store my nuts in. So for 20 bucks, I got 24 containers. And they're nice, heavy-duty glass ones. I store food in them, like actual leftovers and everything. And it's nice because everything is uniform in size. So you can it's easy to put it in your pantry, in your refrigerator, in your freezer, everything. It's nice to have the size. And then if you want to buy any spices in bulk, which doesn't mean a huge amount, just like get whatever you want. They also have these little mason jars, and the lids come up like this. And these are on Amazon, or on, you can get them at Walmart too. So I think this was you get 4 packs with the lids for $4 at Walmart. And so when I'm buying in the bulk section, I get this salt because I don't use a ton of it's like Himalayan pink salt. I'm not going to use a ton of that, but I will have enough for a month or 2 in this little container. And this was, I think, 99 cents, like the amount of salt that I have in there. And yes, mason jars are the best. And I mean, there's so many different sizes now too. You can get different colors, and if you want to get labels, obviously I know that these are cashews, but I do label things that might be a little bit confusing, especially some of the grains and everything, in case my kids have them. And also there's the measurements on the side too. So I know we like cashews for a lot of different things. So I know when it gets lower than half a cup, then I need to stock up again next time it's on sale. And so with the bulk spices, I also get things that aren't really, that I won't use as many of. So I have all my stuff around me. Hold on. So say I have a recipe for something and I need to get mustard seed. I don't use mustard seed that often, so I just buy a little amount. So if you look, a lot of grocery stores now have these bulk spices where you just measure out what you want. And the smallest container at the store, I think it was $4.99, which was ridiculous. And so I just went to the store. I got this in the bulk section. This is at Fresh Thyme, but there's other places you can find this too. If you just search, you can find spices. I'm sorry. Yeah, the white lids can spill a little bit. They are pretty tight, but you can definitely spill something. Sorry. So this little amount of mustard, this is ground mustard seed, was 29 cents. And I have enough for at least 2 recipes, and then I just store it in this little bin from the Dollar Tree. So all these little spices that I have, these go in our pantry. And so you can also go in the ethnic aisle. A lot of these come in little packets like this, and these are always 79 cents at Walmart. Or at World Market, they also have fennel seed. So World Market will have like 10% off on the weekends sometimes, and all their little spices like this are 99 cents. So if you can get away with not buying a huge container, these are perfect because, I mean, I don't really know how often I'll use these, and I always put the date on there too. So, you know, maybe in about 3 months it might not be good anymore. Oh yes, sugar and salt, I've done that too. Especially like the coarse sugar, oh, that's a mess. Okay, so these are, I either get my containers at the Dollar Tree, or if I see them on sale somewhere, but most likely you can find a great container at the Dollar Tree. So this is another one. So this is my spices. And then I also buy all my lentils and grains in bulk. So I know that I'm going to be making a lot of soups and everything. So I got, I think, about enough for 3 months here. And it has a little lid on here. We can measure out of it. And then, there we go. And then these are green. I do get green peas and green lentils mixed up, so I do need to relabel these. My daughters like to peel the labels that I put on there. That's always nice. So these just stack. This is red lentils. These just go right in my pantry. And you can also do these in mason jars too if you want. But these are just from the Dollar Tree. They have the nice lids. Stack them right nicely, all in a row, so you know where things are. Okay, so kind of those are a few items that I get in bulk. I also get flour. I get the 2 huge things at Costco for $6.99. It's the Ultra Grain flour, and because it has a little bit of whole wheat in it, it's a whole grain white flour. So it doesn't have all the wheat texture, but I still keep it in the freezer. So I fill up one of these containers. Sorry, it's kind of all dusty, but I'll fill this up, Rambo, with flour, and then I'll keep this in my kitchen, and then the rest goes in the freezer. So I know that I can probably use this up within a month because I do a lot of baking and stuff for the girls. And then, yeah, World Market is the best. And if you sign up for their members, their little membership program, they always have points that you get for shopping there, and there's always extra perks around the holidays, and they'll have like triple points or something. So always check out the little spice area at World Market. It's really cool. And you can get a lot of cute jars there too. They have a lot of different jars. Okay, so those are the main things. I'm looking at my list. Oh, also rice you can get in bulk. So I always look. So I know that I can get the big thing at Aldi for about $1.49. So if I see it in the bulk bins a lot cheaper, then I will go there. So if you don't have Fresh Thyme, I'm sure there's probably some grocery store in your area that has those big bins. Fresh Thyme has like 2 aisles full of like, they have quinoa, grains, lentils, everything, all the dried fruits, nuts. And so you just always want to kind of price it out and see which way is cheaper to buy it in the package or in the bulk section. And that way you can get whatever you want. And things like flaxseed, I don't use a ton of it, but I get about a cup at a time, and this lasts me about a month. So I just store this. This was 77 cents. So cheap. Yes. Dollar Tree has so much, and they always switch up the colors too, and they have so many different options. So I do have one more Dollar Tree thing. So when I do buy things in bulk, like the big packages at Costco, I think the tomatoes come in 8 at a time in a package. I take them out of the package and I put them in one of these. This is also from the Dollar Tree. And then, so these ones are actually my Aldi ones though. I just put them in here. And so these are the diced tomatoes with green chilies. And then I have regular diced tomatoes, and I have my tomato sauce. So I leave everything all lined up in my pantry, and then I can just pull out this when I need it and grab what I need. And then once I get lower than 2, then I know that I need to add it to my list. I like to keep at least 2 in stock. Yes, freezing flours, even if it's not whole wheat flour, I would definitely put it in the freezer and put it in a bag first and then freeze it. It's definitely the way to go. Yeah, these are the best. I have all these different colors, and yeah, these are amazing. So I just line these up. My husband, I should take you downstairs. My husband just built shelves. He just got wood, and I think it was like a $12 project. He just got, I think it's 4 by 3. So it's these big shelves, and it's 4 high. So then I just lined up everything in my pantry, because upstairs, my kitchen is kind of small. I don't have a ton of space. So I just keep the bare essentials upstairs, and then downstairs I can go to the pantry to grab anything else that I might need. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to follow my list here. So you can also get dried fruits, spices, and then, baking items too. So look at chocolate chips. Compare a bulk item, compare like Aldi versus Costco, or if you have bulk bins, you can look for chocolate chips or dried fruit or anything that you might put in granola. I get banana chips a lot too. So those are all items that you might want to look for. And I'm trying to think of other stores that might have the bulk sections. I know that our Meijer used to have them, but they don't have them anymore. You just kind of have to look around. Sometimes they hide them, and you don't even know that your store has them. And then now we are going to cover, sorry, I have a list. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything right here. Oh, also think outside of just your main stores. So I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about why I'm a Costco member, but also think about other places that you might be able to shop. So but you don't want to shop there all the time. So I have a system where I go certain places about once a month. So we have a bread outlet, and I go there once a month on a Sunday because I know that they give you an extra 25% off. So we stock up all the bread that we need for a month. They have bagels, they have English muffins, tortillas, naan bread, regular sandwich bread, and all of them start at 50 cents a loaf. I mean, it's super, super cheap. You can even get biscuit, or those little what are they called? Those little brown and baked biscuits too. Those are always 25 cents. And so at the bread outlet, they're either at the date, like they expire that day, or like in the next few days. So you really need to either use it or freeze it right away. So we go there, we just stock up our cart, and I think the most we've ever spent there is maybe $10, and we get a whole month worth of stuff. And they have a punch card, so every certain amount that we spend, we get free items, and if you spend 5 or more, you get 2 items free. It's like all these different specials. And so that's the Aunt Millie's outlet, but I know that Wonder Bread has one. I think there's a Bimbo Bakery kind of one. So if you just Google bread outlet and then in your area, you should be able to find something. You can get hot dog buns, like for barbecue season, we found so many. So that's definitely a place that you might want to look for, and a lot of people don't know they exist. And so there's so many different, I know they donate a lot to different shelters also, but there's a lot of waste there because people don't know they exist at all. So how do I budget my Costco and bread outlet membership per month? So the bread outlet is not a membership at all. You just go in there whenever you want. It's open, I think, 4 days a week, so you don't have to pay to be a member at all. But for Costco, since we renew it once a year, that's just one thing that we know that we have to budget. And I actually looked to see the prices because we've kind of considered between Costco and Sam's Club, but I found that Costco has so many more perks that we actually use. And so it's $55 a year, and if you don't save $55, I think they give you the difference back. I don't know exactly how that works, but because we always use it. But if you don't have a membership, there's a little loophole. If someone buys you a gift card, you can just shop there also. So if you want to check it out for a month or two and have someone buy you like a $100 gift card, you can shop there and see if it's worth buying a membership. But you do have to be a member to buy the gift cards. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it's definitely in our budget. We know every August we renew our Costco, so that's something that we have to kind of plan for. And we can even save like $5 a month sometimes if we kind of forgot about it. And then your bread outlet does not give it. Oh, it doesn't give extra discounts. Yeah, sometimes you have to ask. They don't really advertise it too much. I think it's Sundays they have a certain percentage, and then there's a senior day too for the bread outlet. But with Costco, that's just something I know that I get my eye exams there, so I know that I can save that. And we get our dog food, and there's so many different items that we get there that it's definitely worth the $55 a year. And they usually give you a big coupon booklet when you renew, so there's like a free rotisserie chicken and all this other stuff on there. So it's kind of worth it. You know, you get extra perks every year too. And I do have a huge list of things that I do get at Costco. Aside from food and everything, I'll just read it because there's so many different things that you might not think of. They have Carter's pajamas, which I love Carter's because they last forever, and you can resell them really easily too because they don't get really pilly. They're just great pajamas. So they have those right now for $7.99, and my girls still wear them. And my kids are 7 and 5, and they still wear their pajamas, their Carter's. And at the end of the season, those will go down to $3.99. So if I see anything in the future size for $3.99, then I just buy all the Carter's pajamas that I can because that's a great deal. And so we also get gas there because it's at least 10 cents cheaper per gallon. And also, yeah, that loophole, you can ask your parents to get you a gift card and then you can check it out. And I think that it doesn't matter how many times you shop at Costco. I think you can if you keep renewing your gift cards, I don't know. And then what else do we get there? So gas. Oh yeah, my eye exam. So the regular exam is $49, and then if you have a contact one, it's $79. It's still a pretty good deal, and they have great deals on contacts too. And then I also get pillows, and I always get all my kitchen mats there. And they have so many different seasonal items that they rotate out. So at the end of the season, they always put it on clearance. So I think, when is it? March, they always have a clearance on all the kitchen stuff. So I get all my towels then, which they mark down to like $5.99 for a huge pack, and then the rugs go down to under $10. They're a really good deal, and they're nice quality products. They have light bulbs that are always really cheap. All the Halloween and Christmas stuff will be clearanced out at the end. They don't really call it clearance though; they just kind of mark it lower, and you can tell if it ends with a 7, then it's kind of on clearance. We also get all of our coats there, so we get winter coats with snow pants. It's usually $20, and they're nice, heavy, good coats, and all their mittens are usually under $10. Boots, we just found rain boots that were $20, which we were kind of shopping for a while, but these are really good quality ones, and I know that they're going to last. And so we get kind of a lot of different items aside from food at Costco, but we pretty much only shop there once a month. And yeah, I haven't really checked out Sam's. I feel like I might want to check it out a little bit because they always have those 2-week windows where you can shop also. I feel like they might have a lot of things that we'd also use. Oh, the Costco dog food is amazing too, and it's $29, and it lasts us about a month and a half. So it's a pretty good deal, and it's good quality dog food. They also have toys and books. They have a lot of box sets around the holidays. I saw a Babysitter's Club one, and I was like, I was so excited. So they had those and a lot of different Dr. Seuss books and everything. They always have them bundled up at a really good price. So they have a lot of different seasonal things, and also beer and wine and all the liquor is super cheap. So if you have like an event coming up, you want to buy a big bottle of rum or something, we actually got all of our liquor for our wedding there. So we saved so much money going there. And so I know there's a lot of different bloggers that have talked about when exactly the clearance sales go on at Costco. I don't know the exact dates of everything, but I just notice when things get marked down, because you can kind of tell at the end of the season when things are going to go down. And so I'm going to share all my notes too, so you guys can see it, my favorite things from Costco. And then also there are some other, so I've talked a little bit about World Market for spices, but there's some other places too that you might want to check out. Natural food stores have a lot of different bulk areas where you can stock up on things like flax. They also have really good prices on essential oils too. And I always get my sesame seeds at this little market that's next to my coffee shop because they're the cheapest there. So I know every once in a while I get them there. Also, I get chicken. I don't really buy it at Costco unless I have to. I get chicken through Zycon, which a lot of people were talking about for a while, and I was a little bit hesitant because it's 40 pounds of chicken at once. So that lasts us 3 months. And I was like, what am I going to do with 40 pounds of chicken? But it's a great deal. It's great quality chicken. And I get the big box. And actually, I volunteer. So whenever they come into the area, they have these big trucks, and you just pull your car up and you get these big boxes of chicken. And then I volunteer though, so I help with the sign-ups and stuff like that. And they give you $10 an hour for just helping. So I always get money off my box of chicken by doing that. And so once you get the big chicken, it's all raw though, it's not frozen. So you get this huge box, I just bring it home, and I individually portion it out into 1 pound portions. And sometimes I'll marinate them, sometimes I'll just slice them, in strips. But I also put about 10 pounds in just a slow cooker, and that makes shredded chicken right away. So then I portion it out into 1 pound packages, and it all goes in my freezer. And I will note that I do have a big, standing freezer. One year for Christmas, we didn't know what we wanted, so we just asked for a standing freezer, and my mom got it for $200. So it's definitely an investment, but it saves us so much money because we can put all of our bread in there, we put all of our chicken. Zycon also has bacon, pork, seafood, a bunch of different things. But we don't really eat those other things as much as chicken, so that's the only thing I've gotten from them. Yes, I will definitely have to come talk about, I love Zycon. And I was hesitant because I feel like, I don't know, I heard so much about it, but I didn't really hear any people talking about how much they liked it or not, but it's been a game changer. We've been getting it for a year now, and they always have coupon deals, and they have a referral program too, so if you tell your friends and family about it, you get money off. I think I usually wait till it's about $1.19 a pound for big chicken breasts, and they're good. I mean, each one is about 3 pounds. They're huge chicken breasts. They're really good. So, but I can definitely talk more about that if you ever need me to. You just picked up your Zycon chicken. Isn't it? It's amazing. The flavor difference is amazing, and it's pretty lean. You do have to trim a little bit, but it's great. I haven't tried the ground beef or turkey yet, but I really need to. It's next on my list. And then you don't have to volunteer for just the chicken deliveries. You can volunteer for any of them, and it can just keep adding totals to your account. And I think the longest I've ever gone was 2 hours. So $20 off your next order, it's not bad. One time though, it was like 20 degrees and I was in the freezer truck. That was kind of bad, but I mean, whatever. And then also, Zycon is not regional. It is nationwide. It isn't in every area yet, but I think it's in all the states, but they're slowly branching out more. So I know here in Michigan, they have quite a few different stops on both sides of the state, but I know in Texas, there's only in, I think the northern part. So it just depends on your state, but if you just go to zyconfresh.com, I think it is, or just it's Zaycon, you can look it up. And I just sign up for their email list because they have all sorts of deals. Sometimes they'll have 15% off day, or they'll have random things. So I never purchase it without an extra discount on top of it. And let's see. So that's one of my favorites. Also, if you go just local farms, I was actually on Snapchat the other day, and someone said that they were from a local farm, and they wanted to know if I wanted to try some of their pork. And I was like, that's just random, so you never think about just reaching out to local farms, but they'll also give you discounts on things like pork or chicken or anything, and eggs. A lot of the farmers are at the farmers market, so you can make a connection there if you want. Also, local co-ops. So a lot of it's mostly a summer thing around here because I'm in Michigan, so we don't really have a a winter harvest as much, but you can get big boxes every week from a co-op, and you never know what's going to be in it, but it's always a great deal. It's like $20 a week for a huge box of produce, and if you can use all of it, it's definitely worth it. And then what else? Oh, another place that I get a lot of my groceries, which I think some people don't really think about, is Target. I get a lot of my groceries on sale with like the cartwheel, and then I use coupons. So that was one of the times that I really break out my coupons. I know I've been getting a lot of beans at Target because they've had Bush's beans for 79 cents a can, and then they had a cartwheel for 30% off. So you can definitely save randomly. Like, I don't always get all my groceries there, but there's certain things that you can get there. I also get a lot of chicken drumsticks because they mark them down at Target. So then I can use the cartwheel, 10% off, and then I'll get like a huge package of drumsticks for 99 cents. So it's just very random. I mean, you're already at Target anyway. You might as well just check out the food section. And I get a lot of clearance spices and protein powders and stuff like that with coupons. But you just it just depends. You never can really rely on the great prices there, but you never know. And so, okay. Oh, so to keep tabs on what you have in your pantry, even if you have a smaller pantry, you just kind of want to keep tabs of what you have. Every month or so I go through and I just kind of keep an inventory, and I'll kind of keep a running one also. I have a dry erase board on my big freezer downstairs. I'll keep a running tab on what's going on, but then I also make a list. So if there's 2 or less of something, I put it on my list, and so then before I go shopping, I can just grab it off the fridge. But then you can also do, what else was I going to say? My mind. Yeah, so just keep a running total of what you have. And also, once you clean out the pantry, if you didn't use something, kind of take note of that also. Because, okay, I have a story because my husband is making fun of me for these. I was like, oh, I was making some sort of energy bites. I thought that this amount of dates at Costco, I mean, it was on a markdown for Rambo. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to use all those dates. And then I need to use them in like 3 months. And so I'm putting dates in smoothies. I'm putting baking with dates. And they're great, but I'm the only one that eats them. So this is definitely something that I will not be purchasing in a huge thing at Costco again. And everything, my husband's like, how are those dates going? I'm like, they're great. I'm loving them. You know, I'm so over them. But I have to use them. So kind of keep tabs. So I know in the future I'm not going to be using these dates again. Or buying them that many of them. Also, what else? Did I talk about oil? I don't think I talked about oil yet. Oil is something, I'm sorry I'm all over the place right now. I had all this stuff lined up and then the dog is like distracting me. I buy oil at Costco because that's something cheap. So right here, I don't buy olive oil because it's a little bit more expensive. This is the Mediterranean blend. It's canola, olive, and grapeseed. So you can use, it has a high smoke point so you can really fry with it, but it doesn't have the strong olive oil flavor. So this size of just regular olive oil at Costco is $24. This one of the Mediterranean is $10. So you can save $14 and it still has a great flavor. It's not just canola oil. And so I keep this in my pantry, and then I put it in here for my kitchen. So then I just squeeze it and label it as I need it. So it's kind of nice. This just goes right here. And this does only have like a 3-month shelf life, but I use up a lot because I do a lot of cooking, so it works. And I can use it for marinades and everything like that. Let's see. Yeah, Target does, and like for fruit snacks and things like that, I love it. And for anything snacky wise, I love it. Let's see. Your butcher shop meals out coupons. Oh, I need to look into that because I'd be really interested in that. I don't need a huge amount of pork, but I would like a good, like some bacon and some pork chops and everything. I don't know. I should try to freeze the dates. I should look that up. Or maybe if I can just like soak them and grind them up and then put them in little baggies. I don't know. But if you have any good date recipes, let me know because I seriously have been eating these all the time and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So that may be one of those things that is just a waste. But don't keep anything past the date just because you got it in bulk. That's one lesson you're just going to have to learn. It sucks sometimes, but you just kind of have to learn. You know, you don't want to be eating funky food, you know. If you can't freeze it, then you got to do something with it. I don't know. But maybe find something that likes dates. I don't know. So does anyone have any questions? I had something else to say, but I don't remember what it was. Does anyone have any questions at all? And I will also be answering throughout the day, too, if you have any that you think of later. Okay. There's something else I was going to say. I think that's all I have for right now. Oh, one more thing that I love at Costco, and I promise I'll share my list too. Coconut oil. I use it for baking, for pretty much everything. Popcorn is amazing with coconut oil. This size, I priced it out. So at Aldi, they do have the smaller ones now. They're about $5.99 though. This big thing is $17, and it lasts, I'd say at least about 3 months. I mean, I use it all the time, but it lasts a while. And it's really good quality coconut oil, so it's definitely something to add to your list. It's something that I know that I need to invest in every 3 months. And if I am running low, I will get a smaller container at Aldi just to wait a little bit, but for the most part, I always get this big one. And there's certain things that I know that I need to invest in, and that's part of bulk shopping also. Maybe one month you'll want to buy a great deal on Kleenexes, and so you'll have them for a while, or toilet paper if it goes on sale. Some of my hair products, I don't buy them unless they're on sale, but I know if it goes buy one, get one, I will buy it, and that'll be like my investment for the month. So you just kind of have to learn how to figure out which, because you know next month you won't need to pay that. So it's kind of your budget can kind of go back and forth, but for the most part, once you start buying in bulk for a while, it'll even out because certain months you don't have to buy certain things, but you'll have to buy other. So some months we don't need to buy toilet paper, but we need to buy some other cleaning product or something. You know, so it just kind of evens out after a while. Oh yeah, I put a little bit of this coconut oil in just like a little container, so we use it for our lips and also sometimes in our hair. Like right now, it's like so humid out. I feel like I need it in my hair a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely something I just scoop it out and then put it up to the side for the girls and everything. It took me a little bit. So we've been members of Costco so since 2007, so almost 10 years now. My oldest girls are 7. So I mean, we were shopping there when it was just 2 of us because we knew that we could find deals that we needed, and we'd cook a lot. We only go out to eat once a month, maybe twice at most. So once we joined Costco, we kind of started to learn what we would buy in bulk and what we would need every month or every week or so. So pretty much I do one huge Costco trip a month unless I forget something. But then every week I go to Aldi. So every week I get bananas, produce, everything like that we need. Or if there's something special on sale or something, then I'll buy milk, eggs, all that stuff. But then I know certain items that I don't, it's hard to explain how exactly you figure it out. It's just kind of, you have to play around with it a little bit. And so, I'm sorry, I wanted to see. Okay. So, you just kind of have to play around with it a little bit. With the price points, it really does help. So even though they have the huge containers of Kleenexes at Costco, I know I only pay $1 per box at most. So I know if it's $1.50 per box, I'm not going to buy that huge container. I won't even buy it at Aldi if it's not $1. I know that certain places will have it on sale. And if I have to, I'll buy just like one box at the Dollar Tree to get me through until it goes on sale again. But you start to notice like the sale cycles of certain stores. And so I know Meijer has their 10 for 10 deals every 6 weeks. So I know I can get my Kleenexes for $1 every 6 weeks. So then I can buy enough for that 6 weeks if I don't see it cheaper anywhere else. Or there's certain items that you kind of just know go on sale consistently. Or right now I know seasonal things for baked goods. So chocolate chips are going to be cheap soon. Pumpkin, all like canned pumpkin. So I just buy all that and I stock up for a good 4 months because I use pumpkin in baking and pretty much everything. So I need to stock up then, otherwise it's going to be $1.49 a can. So there's just certain things that you kind of just start to you just kind of take note of everything, but then also keep that price point in mind too. When you're shopping at Costco, you don't want to just buy something to buy something. Once you're there and you start trying samples and stuff, it's so hard to be like, oh yeah, I love this hummus. I'm going to get this huge thing of hummus for $8 because I love it. You just need to say, no, I am not going to do that anymore. You kind of have to just keep the mindset that you're not just going to buy something to buy something. It's kind of a little bit easier that way. And it's harder to go there with kids because the kids try to convince you to buy stuff. And so you just really have to just be strong and be like, no, I'm not going to get that. You just have to kind of get through. Also, what else? Yeah, so once you start shopping at Costco, you'll know. I was buying their bread for a while, but then I just realized that the bread outlet was a better deal. And the Costco loaves of bread are huge. I think there's like 25 slices per loaf. And we do go through bread, but not that quickly. And I feel like even with freezing it, it was getting funky. So you just kind of start to figure out what your routine is for your family. Okay. Let's see. I know the sample ladies are, it's hard though because you're like, oh, you feel bad walking by them, but then you're like, oh no, I don't want anything. And then, I don't know, I always get that guilty. So I just have to push my cart along. But there are things that you can try and you're like, oh, that is a really good deal. Like the pesto, I wouldn't have thought to buy a huge thing of pesto there, but we use it all the time and it's a great deal. It's cheaper than actually making it. So I do like the pesto there. It does help me meal plan, especially with the chicken now. So we get the huge amount of chicken, so I know that's always there. So then when I see things on sale, I can kind of go around the chicken and whatever else I have in bulk. I also buy a lot of markdown meat, so I'll keep kind of tabs of what markdown meat, like the main protein basics, and then whatever's on sale I can kind of throw in there. So if broccoli's cheaper this week, I'll throw broccoli in our meal, or brown rice, or you kind of just kind of rotate around the protein. And so I think that in the long run, especially when we're super busy, I think it is very beneficial to have a good stocked pantry with bulk items, so you don't have to, if you can't go to the store at all for like 2 weeks, you know that you're going to be okay. You know, you're going to have something that you can kind of eat from. You know, you have some beans, you have some tomatoes, you can quickly make some sort of pasta dish, you can make some sort of tacos, and with the shredded chicken, you know, in the freezer, I can just pull that out, throw some salsa in there, and that's our tacos with whatever we have, you know. So you kind of, it's really great to have that pantry, and it takes a minute to get it all stocked up. We've been in this house for about 5 years, so when we first moved, like just like your situation, we were just like, oh, we're going to use up everything, and so we're not going to buy anything. Then it took us a while to get our pantry restocked again. So it just kind of, it helps though to kind of take note of what you are actually using versus what you're kind of wasting, or what kind of sits there. Like we have some things that are just kind of sitting in our pantry that I just need to donate or get rid of. And it's just, it's hard sometimes, but you kind of, it's a learning lesson or learning route as you go. So I think it does help with the meal planning. You just kind of know the basics that you always have. And All Recipes has the website, the ingredient search. So if I am kind of lost for a recipe, I'll just say, oh, I have black beans, this. You can type in all the ingredients, and then they'll give you a recipe. So if the very least you have something, a new idea, if you can't think of anything. So it is kind of helpful. That's a good idea. So she split her Sam's Club membership with her friend and then Costco with her mom. My mom was actually thinking about going on ours too. So that is a good idea, because then you can kind of check out both. I know through the school they have a Sam's Club membership, so I've been there once or twice, but it's just, I'm so like set in my, like every time I go to store I have the same route, you know, so I feel like that's something that I kind of, if I don't know where I'm going, I always miss stuff. I don't know what it is. I have like my routine, and it's just, so if I don't know where I'm going at Sam's, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like it, but I need to actually check it out, because I'm sure there's great deals there too. And I know there's the BJ's wholesale or something. There's another one I've never actually seen, but I always hear about it. And there's a lot of other different stores. I do try to stay with one grocery store. So I love Aldi, so that's always my go-to. And then if there's something on sale at Meijer, I'll stop in there, but I don't want to go to too many different stores just for a deal. I just kind of just wait if I have to. Yeah, the website to type in the ingredients is just allrecipes.com. And then I think on the top right, it'll say ingredient search. I can put a link to it though. I'll definitely put a link for it. And then the ingredient search, you can put up to 12 ingredients in there, and it's really, really helpful. And All Recipes also has a magazine too. So a lot of the recipes have ratings on them, which is nice, so you can kind of see what the reviewers have said. And I just feel like it's a little bit more trustworthy than just going on Pinterest, because you never know how those are going to turn out. Oh, thank you for sharing my post about Zycon. Yeah, it's I love it. And definitely look, sometimes you have to apply to volunteer, but I mean, they always need people to help. So it's a great way to get some extra money. And I think that's all I have. Any other questions? I'm sorry, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I've been talking forever. I do also have a post about freezing things. So if you do find a markdown on, say, bananas, I'll show you how to freeze them all. Or I just did how to do all your peppers, so you can have some for chili, for fajitas. I freeze everything. My freezer is always stocked, and then I know that I can always have something on hand, you know. Okay, so if there's not any more questions, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will be keeping tabs on this, so if you guys have any other questions or anything, just let me know. I hope you guys learned something, and I feel like there's something else I was going to say. I don't think that's it. And I will share all my notes, too. I have a little handy-dandy spreadsheet thing for you. So I'll share that, and then if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you guys so much. Sorry for keeping you so long.